Well, you know what's funny? I was in the writer's room last week, and I saw on the board it said season 4, and I looked at you and I was like, really? Because I think ideas start to generate once you're building the story. So, but you can answer that specifically.
Well, yeah, it's all character oriented. So basically, once we start talking about who our big bad is, what the repercussions are, and then we talk about, well, how will that make that person react? How will that affect that relationship? And then suddenly we put that into season 4, because we know, all subject to change, where we're headed at the end of the season. So once we hit that, there's so many things that fall off of that. So, and they all get put into the season 4 column that Marco saw.
With this season we know.
Yeah, it's the beauty of having 15 episodes, is that you can say, all right, this is where we're headed, and then know what's going to fall off of it.
Okay, well, last year you started out with a time jump. Where are you picking up this year? And everybody was in a very different headspace from the first season to the second. Where's the headspace this year?
I'll start and then you can jump in. So we're jumping ahead a year, same as we did last year. I think the fundamental difference is last year we started with we wanted the audience to think Ryan was in a new place and he was doing well. We see him jogging, we see that he's sober, he's going to AA. But then when he opens the secret room, you realize he's wearing a mask, it's a facade. And that was sort of a big theme for last year, is that he was still obsessed, and he couldn't let go of Joe. And then this year... we've evolved him, right? We always want to keep his character evolving and evolving. So this year he has let go. This year he's in a really good place. This year he's met, potentially the love of his life. He almost has kind of an instant family. And then the question is, can he maintain that? But we're gonna do the year jump again, because we like that. It gives you an opportunity to kind of catapult your character into a slightly different place, to really establish some off-camera time for that to take hold, and then to say, all right, now what happens?
So that being said, we're going to be seeing new cast members, new characters. Is there any dramatic changes in the cast that's coming?
Only additions. I mean, in guest stars, and we're going to bring back some people who left early last year, like Mendez, who, when we saw her get into the ambulance after Jana was killed, we didn't see her again. We jump ahead a year, so now exactly what we can do. We can fill in the blanks and say, here's what happened to her, and this is where she is at the FBI. We loved her. We want to bring her back, so she'll be a big part of it. We may see, Captain Turner from the U.S. Marshals, who was in the first season, and some in last year. Then we have new characters. We have new big bads, new people coming in.
Like who?
TV. That's a spoiler alert.
Maybe some actors,
Well, I would tell you if we had deals closed.
Yes.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Season 1,
in the works.
The following that was going on was that Joe Carroll cult of personality. In season 2, you have that, and then the addition of a religious following. Is there another aspect of the idea of following that you're going to introduce in season 3?
Yes.
There is, but I couldn't spoil it for you. That would be too hard.
Well, let me take just a little bit off of that and say the first season you had the Edgar Allan Poe thing, which I loved, and all the literary references, and it was intellectually stimulating. And then the religious theme there. Will we have some more intellectual kinds of challenges that will, as a viewer, you really can dig your teeth into?
I think the biggest thing that will be sort of an intellectual challenge will be figuring out the mystery. So there are going to be pieces of the puzzle in front of Ryan and Max and Mike, and they have to put it together because they're going to start sensing things, they're going to start seeing patterns, they're going to start seeing behaviors change, and they're going to have to put together what's bubbling beneath the surface. Right, we talked on the panel about keeping the shark below the water, putting the shark back under the water. Big concept for us this year. We want Ryan to have to figure everything out. Literally like in Jaws, we feel it's very exciting when they're on the boat trying to figure out where the shark is. And you want to have the shark come up and rear its teeth, but you want to also keep it underneath. And then that's when the characters get to hang out together and talk about what it means and figure out how the case is affecting their lives and their relationships with each other. So we're gonna play both sides of that, sort of like speeding it up and slowing it down at the same time.
Those themes that were very Joe Carroll. Joe was a professor of literature. Edgar Allan Poe was he sort of came up with that whole concept of beauty in the art of killing, but that was specific to Joe. And then Joe attacking religion and thinking that, I've killed a lot of people, but religion has killed more people than I would ever kill. Those were all very specific to Joe, and I think, as we move forward, we may find other killers having their intellectual specificities, and some won't. Some do it it's all different reasons.
But they'll all have reasons, deep psychological ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so you talk
This is the last question.
Can you talk a little bit about Max and Mike? Mike was pretty torn down or broken up this past season. A lot of things happening. Where are those characters going in the new season? And they're connected to each other.
I love the kiss at the end of season 2. I think a lot of people did. It had just so much hope and so much effervescence, and it had been so well earned and set up the entire season. It just felt right, felt really organic. So we're going to make good on that. We're going to kind of reset that at the beginning of the season, and so we're going to see them together. We're going to see what's happened over the past year, but they'll be together and they'll be in love, and so the stakes are going to be high for them.
Mike still has all of that. Is emotionally he's there with her, and I think that the audience will be satisfied because I think we earned it, and they're going to want to see that. But then he still has his father's killer out there, and he still has that bloodlust, and I don't think that's gone away.
No, in fact, he's going to sublimate it a little bit, so that to keep his relationship healthy. But now that they're trying to do things the right way this season, he needs to keep that hidden. He would need to keep that secret if he were going to pursue that avenue of investigation.